Hello everyone and welcome to the side quest Search for the Mirror of Erised. A magical artifact is missing and it's up to you and your friends to figure out what it is. And you might have taken it. And who might have taken it? Class is over, come to the Great Hall now. Dumbledore is here too. Professor Dumbledore and McGonagall look quite worried about something today. I understand your concern about the missing magical artifact, Albus. Rest assured, we shall find it. I will talk to Mr. Fields about conducting a proper search right away. It's important we get this special artifact back. Watch ability, have you heard? The professors are all worried up today about some lost magical artifact. They do look a bit concerned about something. Do we know what is going missing? Not yet, but they seem quite keen to get it back. Why do you think they are concerned about finding the magical artifact magical artifact ability? It has sentimental value. Perhaps it has sentimental value for Professor Dumbledore. He's been at Hogwarts so long, it's possible he's grown attached to any members of things here in the castle. All the more reason to get whatever it is back for the headmaster. He has enough to worry about. One thing is for true. Mr. Fields and all the teachers will be looking for this missing artifact. They won't be the only ones. What do you mean, Marula? Are you up to something? Maybe we are, maybe we aren't. Finding the missing artifact is important to Professor Dumbledore. That's exactly why we are interested in whatever it is. Well, we can let you leave until we know exactly what you are up to. So tell us what you are planning, Marula. We don't get nearly enough opportunity to play with the treasures of the castle. Magical artifacts are fun, and the dangers are even better. Ismail and I plan to find whatever the lost artifact is first. I'll mostly be interested in finding this artifact if it were hopeful for pranks. Perhaps we should help the headmaster finding the missing artifacts ourselves. This seems to be another exciting Hogwarts mystery. We don't even know what the missing artifact is yet. I like if the missing artifact could make all of you disappear. Of course, Haywood is already trying to do the right thing and follow the rules. The missing artifact is getting quite a bit of attention. We don't get nearly enough opportunities to play with the treasure of the castle. Magical artifacts are fun, and the dangerous ones are even better. Whatever the missing artifact is, it's gone missing for a reason, so Ismail and I intend to find it first. And we don't plan to give it back to the headmaster until we have had our fun with it. That's a terrible idea, Marula. I'm not interested in what you think about my ideas, Haywood. Penny wants to help the headmaster find the loose artifact. Perhaps we will turn it to Dumbledore before you cause any trouble with it. That sounds brilliant, Bellady. We will definitely need luck to beat us to it. And first you need to figure out what it even is that is gone missing. Which is why we are going to bring in the help of a new friend. The hunt of the headmaster missing magical artifact is on. Done organizing poses. Meet me in the courtyard to talk artifacts. I- I've been looking for Professor Sprout. I don't suppose you've seen her. I'm watching you students. If you took what Dumbledore is looking for, I will catch you before you look into its class. I'm helping a friend with a paper, but I hope you and Penny find the missing artifact, Bellody. Well, look who is here. Found the missing magical artifact yet, Swan? You're not even sure what we are looking for yet, Marula. We are convinced we are going to beat you and Ismaila to it. Then you have to beat me too. You are working with Marula and Ismaila, Tulip? I'm surprised, aren't you, Bellady? It's definitely surprising. Marula and Tulip has certainly had their difference, so it's definitely surprise to me that you work together. I can understand that. It is Marula after all. But we are not exactly working together. I just want to find out what the missing magical artifact is. And most of all, to have the chance to use it before the headmaster realizes we have it. I suppose that makes a bit more sense, and even if I don't like it, Tonks is the one who told me what was going on. And I couldn't resist the idea that the missing artifact could have excellent prank potential. Enough petting on. We still need to figure out exactly what we are looking for, so we can begin the hunt. I say we should brainstorm together to figure out what the Dumbledore is looking for. Why would we talk about any of this with you, Ismelda? Yeah, we are trying to beat you to the missing artifact, not to help you find it. If you and Penny are convinced you can figure out what it is first, you shouldn't be worried we will beat you to it. Ismelda is right. So try to figure out what magical artifact So let's try to figure out what magical artifact Professor Dumbledore is looking for. But I need some more energy for that. Professor Dumbledore is counting on his penny. If the sorting hat were missing, they couldn't sort future classes into houses. I heard Dumbledore has a presensive in his office. He would certainly miss that. Perhaps Mr. Fields was referring to the Mirror of Erised earlier. I wonder if working together to figure out what is missing will help us find it. I overheard Mr. Fields said he catches us before looking into the artifact. I quite like to find the sword of Gryffindor. I doubt the headmaster will value any object from Zungles as much as me. There are certainly a lot of good options of which artifact has gone missing. I'm getting the chains ready for whichever one of you is the thief. And the sorting hats were missing. They couldn't sort future classes into their houses. I heard Dumbledore has a pensive in his office. He would certainly miss that. Professor Dumbledore is counting on his penny. Perhaps Mr. Fields was referring to the Mirror of Erised earlier. And out of energy. I wonder if working together to figure out what mission will help us find it. I quite like to find the sword of Gryffindor. I overheard Mr. Fields said he catches before looking into the artifact. I doubt the headmaster would value any object from Zongos as much as me. There are certainly a lot of good options for which artifact has gone missing. Seems as if we working together to figure out what's missing was a good idea. Sounds like the pensive could be missing, or maybe even the sword of Gryffindor, or the sorting hat. I have looked for the sword of Gryffindor before, and hopefully learned a lesson about why you should stop Maruna. And Mr. Fields was over here saying about kitchens before we look into the glass makes the most sense. Sounds like Professor Dumbledore has lost the Mirror of Erised. What is that? All this fuss is about a mirror? Is he worried about coming in the beer to wrong direction of something? I read about it once. The Mirror of Erised shows the witch or wizard looking into it their ultimate heart's desire. Now that's something I'm excited to see. I bet I will see myself performing the ultimate prank with tongues. I have so many dark desires I want to witness. We are definitely going to beat you to the mirror. We'll see about that. Betty and I make a pretty brilliant team. Less talking, more searching. Let's go. Maria is so cocky, but she is also quite smart. I don't know how we will find the mirror first, Benedict. You are smart as well, Penny, so perhaps we will find the mirror by doing what you do best. You mean studying? Exactly, it's time to go to the library to learn everything we can about the famed Mirror of Erised. I'm ready to reach the Mirror of Erised. Come to the library now. I'm glad that I overheard Mr. Fields say in the courtyard. It was helpful to you, Benedict. I was hoping Professor Dumbledore was missing a magical creature so I could find it and make it my friend. I bet he will see a creature in the Mirror of Erised. Maybe a unicorn. I hope I will see that myself, actually. I must admit, I would like to gaze into the Mirror of Erised myself. Thanks for meeting me in the research the mirror in research the missing Mirror of Erised ability. Thank you for gathering all these books, Penny. Have you learned anything that might help us find the mirror yet? I will tell you everything I know so far, and we can look for more information too. If we learned as much as we can about the mirror, perhaps we will beat Marula and our other friends to finding it. It will surely make Professor Dumbledore happy, especially if we can return the imported artifact before anything bad happens to it. So let's study up on the Mirror of Erised. I need more energy for that. The Mirror of Erised shows the most desperate desire of a person's heart. It seems no one knows who created the missing mirror. This is interesting. Erised is desire spelled backwards. It says here an event where the mirror faced the work rarely happens. Often the mirror shows someone achieving a great ambition or goal. The mirror has a gold frame. As the mirror is quite powerful, perhaps it's kept somewhere hard to find. The Mirror of Erised was created before the end of the 19th century. This book suggests the frame of the mirror is encrypted with a phrase. We should constantly talk to each other simply to comprehend your learnings. The Mirror of Erised shows the most desperate desire of a person's heart. And since no one knows who created the missing mirror, it says here an event where the mirror fails to work rarely happens. The mirror is quite powerful, perhaps it's kept somewhere hard to find. This is interesting. Erised is desire spelled backwards. Well, we have learned a bit more about the Mirror of Erised, including when it was made and what it might look like. Right with its gold frame and inscription. It says here's the inscription read Erised stra error ooit über kavre ooit on washi. Certainly sounds quite powerful and intriguing. I can understand why the headmaster wants it back. Goofy Marula isn't here. Reading about the Mirror of Erised might make her want to find it even more. I'm not sure I even want to see my heart's desire was in the mirror. And that is you reading about the Mirror of Erised. You wouldn't be trying to find it, would you? We are looking for the mirror. We are looking for the mirror, Madame Pinch. Professor Dumbledore is quite keen to get it back. And we'd like to help him. This is a matter for your thesis, and you'll be wise to have my advice. The Mirror of Erised is a powerful magical object, and the reflection one sees there could be competing, alluring, and even mystifying. It's not to be thrilled with, especially by immature students. The way you talk about the mirror, it seems like something that would be hidden away quite carefully. I agree. Yes, and even wiser wits or wizards might argue that the hidden place would need to be wisely hidden as well. But enough about that. A library is for silent learning, not practically on, and I am one witch who takes her own advice. I think Madame Pinch may just have given us a clue to where the Mirror of Erised is hiding, Melody. You mean a hiding place? That it is hiding itself? Yes, perhaps Madame Pinch is referring to the Room of Requirement. Rumor says it's located of the corridors on the 7th floor, and is perhaps unplottable. But the mirror has gone missing. Why do we even need to find the Room of Requirement at all? You're right. Is that where it was kept? Is clearly not there anymore. Hold on, Penny. Perhaps we don't need to find the room itself. Maybe we search the corridor. We might find a clue to where the mirror went. Melody, that's brilliant. Shh. I will not warn you again. Sounds like time to go search the corridor for clues, Penny. And I think I will recruit someone's help. From Barnaby Lee and Talbot Vinegar. I'm ready to meet you in the corridor to help with your mission. There's Melody. Cheers, mate. Hello, Melody. You wanted to meet us here? Is it about your hunt for the Mirror of Erised? In fact, it is, Talbot. And thanks both for coming. Rhoda is melding to want to find the mirror before Professor Dumbledore does, so they can look into it. We both thought it would be quite fun to look in it as well. I didn't say it would be fun, Barnaby. I said it could be meaningful. Fun is easier, and I don't think I understand what you mean by meaningful anyway. I mean that the mirror's exercise will show you could be a profound and powerful vision, perhaps of internal contentment, or even a no joy. I think fun is pretty joyful, but I guess it's a matter of opinion. Would looking in the mirror be a right lark like I expect it to be? Perhaps a profound reflection to be carefully considered like I expect it to be. What do you think looking in the Mirror of Erised will feel like, Melody? I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure yet what I think the experience of looking in the mirror would be. We don't know that much about it yet, or if any of us will ever get the chance to look at it, or if we should. Suppose we could be right, Billy, but I do find myself wanting to look. All I know right now is that the headmaster really wants to get the Mirror of Erised back. And reading Marina and Ismelda to it is the best way to do that. So why did you ask us to meet you here in the corridor? The mirror may have been hidden in an unplotted room somewhere nearby. The room of requirement. I've heard rumors about that place. Exactly. We know the mirror has likely been taken from there. Perhaps there is a clue that could lead us to it. How do we know what to look for? We don't. So just stick around for anything that's unusual. The rare of the Mirror of Erised is important to Professor Dumbledore. The race to the Mirror of Erised is important to Professor Dumbledore. This means it is important to us. So let's search for clues to where the mirror may have disappeared to. I need some more energy for that. Unfortunately, this is just an ordinary door, not a portal to a hidden room. Playing with this niffler is more fun than searching this smelly old corridor. We should scan all the floors and walls for anything that could be a clue. There's a strange plant pot over here. I hope Penny sense leads us to a clue. There doesn't appear to be anything but dust beneath this bench. The niffler is likely looking for something smaller and shinier than a mirror. There is nothing unusual around the windows that could just lead to the mirror. These books are about herbology. Unfortunately, this is just an ordinary door, not a portal to a hidden room. Is that a piece of broken stem on the ground? Playing with this niffler is more fun than searching this smelly old corridor. And out of energy. This will probably be not enough energy, but the rest of it be going to get with watching videos. There's a strange plant pot over here. We should scan all the floors and walls for everything that could be a clue. There doesn't appear to be anything but dust beneath this bench. I hope Penny hunch leads us to a clue. This niffler is likely looking for something smaller and shinier than a mirror. There's a book about herbology. These books are about herbology. There is nothing unusual around the windows that could lead us to the mirror. Thanks for the help, searching mates. Seems like the only unusual thing in this hall is this plant pot. That niffler has quite grand though, and you don't see those in the hall too often. Focus, Barnaby. Like I said, the niffler would be searching for something shiny and smaller than the Mirror of Erised. But this plant could be a clue. I believe that's from a puffapop plant. though I've only seen those in the herbology classroom. And those books were about herbology as well. Perhaps Professor Spout was here and even knows what happens to the mirror. I'm off to the herbology classroom to find out. Let's check herbology for the Mirror of Erised right after class. Okay, I will see you then. I'm so glad you hint for clues to where the Mirror of Erised may have dispersed the desire to pay off, Benedict. We don't know the clues paid off quite yet, Penny, but there be a herbology book and speaks of bus-bed plans definitely led me to want to talk to Professor Sprout. Professor Flickby was apparently looking for her earlier. No one has seen her today. Penny, look. That's it, Benedict. It's the Mirror of Erised. I can tell by the frame. Should I look into it, Benedict? That's for you to decide. I can make the decision for you, Penny. Only you can choose if you want to look in the mirror yourself. I appreciate it, Benedict. And for the prefer to follow the rules, Professor Dumbledore seemed to really want the mirror back right away. It must have had cool reasons, and I wouldn't want to look without his permission. What are you students doing in here before class? Professor Spout, we were looking for you. We heard you have been gone all day. Yes, I left early for a trip to Hogsmeade, where I was retrieving supplies. I only just returned. But, Professor, why do you have the Mirror of Erised? I'm not sure that's any of your business. Actually, it's quite important. Professor, will you please explain how it came to be here? It will mean a lot of us. And to Professor Dumbledore. Very well, I will tell you why I brought the Mirror of Erised to my classroom. We don't mean to bother you, Professor Sprout, but this is important. The headmaster seems rather concerned that the mirror was missing. Sorry about all my plans. They are just as alive as we are. Professor Dumbledore has been looking for the Mirror at Erised. I do hope these plans flourish soon. Once I looked in the Mirror of Erised, I felt I needed more time with it. We are trying to learn what happened to the mirror. Curious, I don't see many puffapoots in the trays today. It was no small feat moving a magical artifact of this size to my greenhouse. We don't mean to bother you, Professor Spout, but this is important. The headmaster seemed rather concerned that the mirror was missing. I'm worried about all my plans. They are just as alive as we are. I was quite motivated to find the mirror, so I visited the special room it's kept in. And out of energy. Professor Dumbledore has been looking for the Mirror of Erised. I hope these plants flower soon. I'm trying to learn what happened to the mirror. We are trying to learn. Curious, I don't see many puffapots in the trays today. It was no small feat moving a magical artifact to this size to my greenhouse. We don't mean to bother you, Professor Sprout, but this is important. The headmaster seemed rather concerned that the mirror was missing. Once I looked in the Mirror of Erised, I felt needed more time with it. Perhaps I should have told Professor Dumbledore before I moved the mirror. I certainly didn't expect it to cause such a stir. And we don't mean to bother you about it, but we were just trying to find the mirror before some of our friends. You said you were quite eager to find it, but I still don't understand why, Professor Sprout. I think it's best we should told that the story. I think it best we should told. I think we best should hold the story for Professor Dumbledore. If he is concerned about what happened to the mirror, we should see him right away. It sounds like a good deal. Let's go to see Dumbledore to tell me you found the missing Mirror of Erised. Probably the moment we tell Dumbledore, someone else finds it in the greenhouse and takes it away. Because we already found it in the first part. Maybe. It's just thinking. You found the mirror, but it goes missing again. Didn't I just say it? Who has it this time? And will they deny its safe return? You may meet me and Professor Sprout in my office now. There you are, Miss Van. I came as soon as you sent word, Professor Dumbledore. Hello again, Professor Sprout. I believe Pomona was just about to explain how she came into possession of the missing Mirror of Erised. Of course, Albus, let me tell you everything. And you should listen quite closely as well, Miss Van. As I expect, Professor Sprout's explanation may shed light on why I was concerned when the mirror were missing. I'm eager to hear the tale myself, Professor Sprout, so please tell us your story. I need more energy for that. I care deeply about all my plants. My puffer plant has been languishing and its seeding have failed to grow. The Mirror of Erised is a curious magical object indeed. The nature of a plant is like nurturing a child. All life is precious. Take your time, Ponema. I'm not good in her name. I must confess, once I looked into the mirror, I didn't want to return it quickly. Faustine very interested in Professor Sprout's story. You seem quite dedicated to all your plans, Professor Sprout. I've been concerned about one of my first plants I ever grew myself. The Mirror of Erised is a curious magical object indeed. I care deeply about all my plants. My pufferpot plant has been languishing and its seedlings have failed to grow. The nature of a plant is like nurturing a child. All life is precious. Take your time, Ponema. And out of energy. I must confess, once I looked into the mirror, I didn't want to return it quickly. Faustine's very interested in Professor Sprout's story. You seem quite dedicated to all your plans, Professor Sprout. I've been concerned about one of the first plants I've ever grown myself. The Mirror of Erised is a curious magical object indeed. I care deeply about all my plants. My pipit plant has been languishing and its seedlings have failed to grow. As I said, I've been trying my best to save one of my first pufferpots I've ever planted. It's quite important to me, and as I always wanted to grow a greenhouse full of plants born from it. But it sounds like the plant is dying and you can't get its seedlings to blossom either. Sadly no, I realized I may have to let my dear pufferpot go. But also believed that perhaps if I looked into the Mirror of Erised, it would show me my heart's desire. And it did. I saw a greenhouse full of thriving pufferpots born from my first, joyfully exploding everywhere with life. How grand and lovely. It was. At first, I was so relieved. The mirror gave me what I desired, but I must admit, it brought me such joy, I haven't wanted to return it. I apologize for causing my concern, Albus. And thank you, Miss Van, for bringing the carefulness it calls to my attention. I suppose you must think me quite silly for caring so much for the puffapot. Or perhaps you can understand. I completely understand. Of course I understand, Professor Stout. You love all your plants, and this is what you first. And this was your first. I'm glad you got to see your heart's desire released by looking in the mirror. That's very kind, and I appreciate you coming with me to see the headmaster as you brought this to my attention. Compassion is an important feature, Miss Van, and it is especially right and rare to see it in a student. Let this be a lesson to all of us. While the image in the mirror often bring comfort, they can also make people become fixated on a future that may not be possible. That's very true, Albus. You used the mirror for a good reason, Pomona, and I'm glad I gave you the ability to let go of your beloved plant. But that's when the mirror may work best, allow you to move on. There is a danger in becoming seduced by the image. Men have wasted away in the envisages projects. Of course you're right, and thank you for understanding. No need, you are a teacher here at Hogwarts. You have access to so many of our magical treasures. And it is your right and privilege to use them. However, I do think it's best to avoid students getting involved with the mirror and its complicated visions. Okay, we should see it returns at once. Miss Van, do any of your classmates know you learned of the location of the mirror? Only Penny, and she was determined to return it to you, headmaster. She would be here herself if Professor Snape hadn't asked her for help with something. I appreciate that as well, as you both come in to talk to me so quickly. But we need to retrieve the Mirror of Erised at once. I will meet you in the laboratory classroom shortly. Meet Professor Sprout and me in the laboratory to reclaim the mirror. Professor Dumbledore, there you are. But it looks like you have already moved the Mirror of Erised. I wish that was true, Miss Van. What do you mean, Professor? It's been stolen. Now, Pomona, let's not jump to conclusions. Thievery implies ill intent. It's most likely someone else realized the Mirror of Erised has been found and simply wanted to gaze into it. But then why would they move the mirror, Professor? Perhaps like Professor Spout, they wanted more time to enjoy what they saw. Though I will need to ask you an important question now, Miss Van. Do you know who might have removed the Mirror of Erised from the herbology classroom? Well, we don't know. We know that Marula and her friends are looking for the mirror, but we don't know that she moved it. So I'm gonna go with I don't know, because we don't know it. I honestly don't know, Professor. The last time I saw the mirror was here with Penny. Though you believe your friends were intrigued by the missing mirror. Perhaps, but I wouldn't want to excuse anyone without the facts. Then I won't force you, but I would appreciate if you let me know should learn otherwise. The power of the Mirror of Erised is not to be thrilled with. I should go talk to Mr. Vils, Albus. He often knows the most about what's happening within the castle. An excellent suggestion. And while we consult Mr. Vils, perhaps Miss Van might search for clues to identify the moved mirror. I will get right to it, Professor Dumbledore. Alright then, time to search the classroom for clues to who now has the Mirror of Erised. Yes, I can already start. The herbology classroom is in full bloom, which makes searching difficult. I check between each pot and there is no sign of who took the mirror. Do you see a frog on the table? Nothing to see over here. I hope Professor Sprout plants a new puffaput in this pot. These plants smell lovely. Croak. The name is even Dennis of the frog. And that is Tulip's frog. So maybe she has the mirror. Maybe, eh? And out of energy. Perhaps this tray could reveal a clue. What are you doing here, Dennis? I hope to help Professor Dumbledore solve this latest mystery. Now, Dennis, don't hop away just yet. The herbology classroom is in full bloom, which makes searching difficult. Nothing to see over here. I check between each pot and there's no sign of who took the mirror. I hope Professor Sprout plants a new puffaput in this pot. These plants smell lovely. Croak. Perhaps this tray could reveal a clue. I hope to help Professor Dumbledore solve this latest mystery. I need one more energy. Here is one. And here also another one. What are you doing here, Dennis? Croak? Croak? I searched the entire biology classroom, and I must admit, Dennis, your presence is quite a clue. Because it could mean that your owner is the one who took the mirror. And since I know she wanted to look into it quite badly, I'm off to find Tulip Karasu. If you want to talk, come to the artifact room now. Dennis, there you are. I was wondering where you hopped off to. I found Dennis in the herbology classroom, though he's not what I was looking for when I got there. Oh really? What were you searching for, Melody? The Mirror of Erised. I'm not going to waste time with guessing games. I was there looking for the Mirror of Erised. We both know you were looking for it too, and Professor Dumbledore really wants it back. As far as I'm concerned, Dumbledore can have it back. But you wanted to find the mirror, so what changed? I looked into the Mirror of Erised. I think you better tell me everything right away, Tulip. What did you see when you gazed into the Mirror of Erised? But I need some more energy for that. Professor Sprout saw her heart's desire in the mirror. I expected to see me and Tongs playing a prank when I looked in the mirror. Professor Sprout feels guilty that the mirror is missing now. I don't know who created the Mirror of Erised, but I know I don't like them. Take your time with the story, Tulip. It sounds important. My heart desire was to see Hogwarts experience the biggest prank ever. Cloud the mirror be hidden behind the chalkboard. I need to find the Mirror of Erised soon. My vision showed me working at the Ministry of Magic, just like my parents. Professor Sprout reflection helped her move on from some sadness. I expected to see me and Tongs play in a prank when I looked in the mirror. So you hoped to see you and Tongs play in the ultimate prank together when you looked in the mirror. That's what I thought my heart's desire was. Then it turns out I saw a nightmare. I was working for the Ministry of Magic, just like my parents. Thankfully Tongs was there too. But I hate rules. And rules fall in. I never work for the Ministry. The mirror must be broken. Don't think the mirror can show you a nightmare, Tulip. And it can't protect the future either. Were you happy in your vision? Yes, completely. That's the worst part. Looking in the mirror has me questioning everything I know about myself. And do I really love pranks as much as I thought? Should I be more serious about my studies? Who am I, Bellady? You are Tulip Karasu, and you still love pranks. But I expect this exactly what Professor Dumbledore was worried about. Clearly you can see now that the mirror message can sometimes be confusing. Trust me, Bellady, I'll be happy to never see that blasted mirror again. Then will you help me bring it back to the headmaster? I will, but I don't have it anymore. I gave it to Tobalt Winniger. I will get here sorted, Tulip, but first I have to head to the Owlie to retrieve the Mirror of Erised from Tobalt. I'm back from musing. Let's talk in the Owlie now. And here is the mirror. Tobalt, I'm so glad you're still here. Is that the Mirror of Erised? It is, Billy. Isn't it splendid? It's quite cheery, which is bizarre. And you look rather glum, Tulip. You don't know the half of it. Talbot, you do know Professor Dumbledore is still looking for the mirror, don't you? And soon he might be. But I've been a bit distracted since I managed to move it to the alley using some magic. I was sure to be very careful. That's good since it doesn't belong to us. Professor Sprout borrowed it for a while, but the teachers now want to put it back where it belongs. And so do I. You see, the mirror's reflection can be quite powerful, according to the headmaster and Tulip as well. I repeat, because I've already looked in the Mirror of Erised ability. You did? Yes. Does it disappoint you? Well, I didn't expect him to do it, so I'm going to say yes. Yes, I guess it does a bit. The headmaster has been concerned about getting the mirror back. It's a powerful magical artifact. Perhaps he preferred we wait for this permission to use it for ourselves. I understand, and I thought, you are my friend and I respect you. I don't regret looking into the mirror. That explains the groovy grin, pretty much the opposite of how I feel. Allow me to explain what happened when I gazed into the Mirror of Erised. But I need some more energy for that. I still can't believe I was working for the Ministry of Magic in my heart's desire. Professor Dumbledore said the mirror can help people move on. My reflection showed my mother's pumpkins growing all around us. Don't mind me if I just sulk over here in the corner with one of the owls. You do seem quite at peace right now, Talbot. I saw my parents and me sitting in my mother's garden at home in my vision. The Mirror of Erised is an amazing magical artifact. My father was with my family in the reflection, scribbling an article. I still can't believe I was working for the Ministry of Magic in my heart's desire. Professor Dumbledore said the mirror can help people move on. Your parents and I were all together for the first time in years in the mirror. Don't mind me if I sulk over here in a corner with one of the owls. And out of energy. You do seem quite at peace right now, Talbot. In the image I saw, I had just returned from working at a job I loved. Mirror of Erised is an amazing magical artifact. I still can't believe I was working for the Ministry of Magic in my heart's desire. My reflection showed my mother's pumpkins growing all around us. Professor Dumbledore said the mirror can help people move on. I saw my parents and me sitting in my mother's garden at home in my vision. Blimey, Talbot, this is a powerful image you saw reflected in the Mirror of Erised. It was incredible to be with my family. We are all older, happier. My mom retired and working in her garden, surrounded by pumpkins. My father was still writing for the Daily Prophet. At least you had a dream job and were some mysteries touche. I was turning home to them in the reflection of the mirror. It was if the dead just never came, Bellady. Our family was together again. See, dream jobs. That's a hard desire. Alright, Tulip. But I must say the mirror is mystifying and entrancing. I'm down to look again. That's exactly what Dumbledore warned Professor Sprout about. And perhaps it's a good reason the mirror should go back to him right away. So that's not for you to decide, Swan. Moona, Barnaby, Ismella, you don't understand what happened. And we don't care. We all want our chance to look in the mirror, Swan, so we are taking it with us. Maybe Rula is right. Everyone should have a chance to experience the mirror. But Dumbledore said, if you want to make your case for giving it back to Dumbledore, then you can meet us in the Defense Against the Dark Art classroom after nightfall. Your friends want to look into the Mirror of Erised, but Dumbledore still wants it back. Can you convince him to return the mirror? We are moving the mirror, but we will send for you to talk about it when you are ready. When we are ready. Okay, I will see you later then. 4 tasks. I was wondering if you showed up, Swan. You didn't give me much choice, Morula. You're basically holding the Mirror of Erised for ransom. Don't be so dramatic. We just want our chance to look in the mirror before you and Haywood give it back to Dumbledore. Don't you think it would be smarter to ask the headmaster if you can look into the mirror, Morula? I wondered if I should gaze into the Mirror of Erised when we first found it. And Betty made it clear that it was my own choice if I wanted to look in the mirror. But I realized that Dumbledore's concern meant I should wait. I'm surprised you were so accepting, Swan. Just give us a chance to make our case, Morula. Whoever looked in the mirror has had very different reactions. Won't you ever listen to their stories before you look? It could change how you feel about it. Alright, son, tell us what the people saw when they looked into the Mirror of Erised. I don't like upsetting Bellady, but I'm curious about the mirror. Sprout and Talbot were both compelled to keep looking into the mirror. Professor Sprout saw a greenhouse full of puffpuppets, plants as her heart's desire. Tilda wasn't happy with her design and questioned herself because of it. Certainly you don't think you can convince us not to look in the mirror, Swan. Tilda saw herself working at the Ministry of Magic like her parents. I don't need anyone's permission to do anything I want to do. Professor Sprout felt like she could moved on from losing her beloved plant. Talbot loved seeing his family, but was tempted to keep staring into the mirror. I don't like upsetting Bellady, but I'm curious about the mirror. Talbot saw himself as a healer and his family was alive, older and happily. Professor Sprout saw a greenhouse full of puffpuppet plants as her heart's desire. Sprout and Tal were both compelled to keep looking into the mirror. And out of energy. Seriously, you don't think you can convince us not to look into the mirror? Tilda wasn't happy with her design and questioned herself because of it. Tilda saw herself working at the Ministry of Magic like her parents. I don't need anyone's permission to do anything I want to do. Talbot loved seeing his family, but was tempted to keep staring into the mirror. So let me be sure I'm understanding this. Tilda was upset because it turns out she might actually want to work at the Ministry of Magic. But Sprout and Winger saw actually what they always wanted in the mirror's reflection. Well, suppose that is true. So how is that a bad thing? They were tempted to keep going back to the Mirror of Erised. Oh, I couldn't read it fast enough. And the most powerful wizard at Hogwarts. I can handle mirror magical's power. Which is why Barnaby, Ismail and I are all going to look into the mirror right now. Luda, wait! Rula doesn't look too happy. Barnaby, Ismelda, what did you see? Are you all right? I think I have to go. Me too, I want to be alone. Rula, I don't want to talk about it. Well, that certainly didn't seem to go well. I'm not sure what happened, but now more of our friends seem upset. Okay, so perhaps returning the Mirror of Erised should wait, at least until we have checked on our friends. What about Professor Dumbledore? The headmaster will understand. I'll get the mirror back to somewhere safe, with Talbot and Tulip. You go after Barnaby, Ismail and Marula. Perhaps you're right, but most important is helping our friends. Which is why I intend to find Barnaby Lee straight away. Class is over. Visit Barnaby in the care of magical creatures now. I thought Barnaby looked happy when he looked at the mirror, but apparently not. There you are, Barnaby. Professor Kitwern let me know you were here. Hello, Bellady. Yeah, I like to come visit the magical creatures sometimes. Of course you do. You love magical creatures more than almost anything. That's why I left after looking in the Mirror of Erised. I saw my heart's design, but then realized something else. What do you mean, Barnaby? What did you see, actually? I'm not sure if I feel like talking about it, though, as you are a friend, perhaps you could convince me. I will, but we are going to need the help of some Nifflers as well. Why don't we play with the Nifflers and you tell me what you saw in the Mirror of Erised? Well, if we are going to play with the Nifflers, alright, Betty, I will tell you what I saw, and perhaps you will help me understand it better too. Brilliant, I'm here to help, Barnaby, so let's play with these Nifflers. I was a teacher here at Hogwarts in the vision. I saw my reflection. The Mirror of Erised is certainly having a powerful effect on our friends. Perhaps we are better off not seeing our heart's desire after all. Sneered. It's sad to see you feeling down, Barnaby. I wonder what treasure this Niffler has in his pouch. I was quite pleased in the reflection, Melody. I was quite curious about your vision when you ran off. Chink, chuk. I saw myself teaching the care of magical creatures class in the mirror. And out of energy. The Mirror of Erised is certainly having a powerful effect on our friends. I was a teacher here at Hogwarts in the vision I saw in my reflection. Sneered. It's sad to see you feeling down, Barnaby. Perhaps we better off not seeing our heart's desire after all. I was quite pleased in the reflection, Melody. I was quite curious about your vision when you ran off. I wonder what treasure this Niffler has in his pouch. Chuk, stuk. I saw myself teaching the care of magical creatures class in the mirror. The Mirror of Erised is certainly having a powerful effect on our friends. I was a teacher here at Hogwarts in the vision. I saw my reflection. Sneered. Perhaps we are better off not seeing our heart's desire after all. I was quite pleased in the reflection, Melody. Sad to see you feeling down, Barnaby. And out of energy. I was quite curious about your vision when you ran off. I saw myself teaching the care of magical creatures class in the mirror. I wonder what treasure this Niffler has in his pouch. The Mirror of Erised is certainly having a powerful effect on our friends. Chuk chuk. I was a teacher here at Hogwarts in the vision I saw my reflection. Sneered. It's sad to see you feeling down, Barnaby. Perhaps if we are better off not seeing our heart's desire after all. I was quite curious about your vision when you ran off. I was quite pleased in the reflection, Melody. I saw myself teaching the care of magical creatures class in the mirror. The Mirror of Erised is certainly having a powerful effect on our friends. I was teaching here at Hogwarts. In the vision I saw my reflection. It's sad to see you feeling down, Barnaby. Perhaps we are better off not seeing our heart's desire after all. And out of energy. Only missed 2. Maybe if I go to my room. This can be enough. Well, I certainly hope so. I was quite curious about your vision when you ran off. Okay, I need some other energy. Maybe here. Yes. I got it. I was quite pleased in the reflection melody. So you saw yourself teaching the care of magical creatures class here at Hogwarts. Barnaby, that's an excellent vision to see reflected in the mirror. I was so happy and excited in reflection too, Beverly. Just thinking about how great it would be to help other students realize how great magical creatures are. So why do you seem upset now, Barnaby? The mirror reflection shows you something that makes you happy. It doesn't predict the future. And I know I will never be smart enough to be a real professor. So maybe I should just give up on school altogether. Can you give me a good reason, Beverly, I shouldn't quit school, Beverly? Your friends would miss you. Your friends will miss you. And I expect you miss us too. That's definitely true. I might even miss Marula, though I'm not quite sure about that one. You can certainly live the people you care about, Barnaby, not because of some vision in a mirror. So you see, you have to stay at Hogwarts, Barnaby. I appreciate you trying to convince me, but I'm just not sure what to do after looking in the mirror. Maybe there's something else that would help me make sense of this all, but I don't know what it is. You mean you don't know what it is yet? The reflection you saw in the Mirror of Erised was clearly important to you. You will sort this all out, I promise. Thanks, Beverly, we can try. By the way, how were Ismael and Marula after they looked in the mirror? None of us told when we left. I wondered that too. I will figure out a way to help you, Barnaby, and will stand for you when I have. But now I'm off to check on Ismelda. Once I've helped you all, perhaps we can finally return to the mirror of perhaps we can finally return the mirror of Erised to Dumbledore. Moore and I are at the Three Broomsticks. Meet us there. I will. I've been having such deep thoughts since looking in the mirror. Well, a bit deeper than usual. I need to believe in what's matter, but not without my shepherd pie. Your food is almost ready, Hage, but don't rush me, or it won't be hot. Hi there, Benedict. Sit down and have some butterbeer with us. You are offering me butterbeer, Isabella? That's different. I'm celebrating the reflection I saw in the Mirror of Erised. You are the one who wanted to talk to us, Swan. We are here, so get on with it. I want to check of you after you look in the mirror. You, Barnaby and Esmeralda all left so quickly. Ben and I were confused and concerned. I need to be alone to reveal in what I saw, and then told Marula we had to celebrate. Speak for yourself. What did you see in the mirror, Esmeralda? I saw myself telling everyone in my life exactly how I felt over and over again. How is that different from what you do every day? In the reflection I saw, I didn't even have to listen to them whine about it. Everyone just accepted that I was right. I suppose one person's happiness is another person's nightmare. Snack your one melody, it was my true heart's desire. What about you, Marula? That's my business, not yours. I'm trying to help Barnaby. He's having a hard time with his vision, even though it was a happy one. I want to help him sort it out. Perhaps if I knew more about what you saw, I could help you as well. Since you probably won't let this go, I saw myself with someone I thought I'd never see again. I'm not sure how to feel about it. You saw it? Then it must be your deepest heart's desire. Believe what you want. That's all I'm going to say about it. Well, Professor Dumbledore wants us to return the mirror of Erised. And since it sounds like looking into it again isn't important to you, perhaps now is the time. Not a chance. I love looking in the mirror, and I want to do it again. Blimey, Esmeralda, we got to look in the blessed thing already. And Dumbledore isn't going to let us keep the mirror. So maybe Haywood and Son are right. It's time to went back already. Why should you get to decide? I'm the one who wants to keep it. This sounds like something you should talk about right away. If we do, perhaps we can come to a decision about returning the mirror. Fine, talk, but I'm going to keep declaring my celebration better while you do. But I definitely need some more energy for that. I want to look in the mirror of Erised every day for the rest of my life. I keep thinking we should return the mirror, but I really don't want to. It's hard to know what to do when everyone has a different opinion. Perhaps all this fuss about the mirror is more trouble than it is worth. Benny wants to be sure our friends are all okay before we give the mirror back. We've looked in the mirror already, so why keep it? Dumbledore and Professor Sprout also felt tempted to keep gazing in the mirror. As Barnaby got his heart's desire, what is he going on about? I won't say what I saw in the mirror, but that definitely surprised me. I keep thinking we should return the mirror, but I really don't want to. It's hard to know what to do when everyone has a different opinion. Don't want to hear what I think of you. I can still look in the mirror if I want to. Perhaps all this fuss about the mirror is more trouble than it is worth. And that's fancy. I don't know if this is enough energy, but we are going to try with it. Benny wants to be sure our friends are all okay before we give the mirror back. I want to look in the mirror of Erised every day for the rest of my life. We've looked in the mirror already, so why keep it? Talbot and Professor Sprout also felt a tendency to keep gazing in the mirror. If Barnaby got his heart's desire, what is he going on about? I'm going to watch one video. I keep thinking we should return the mirror, but I really don't want to. So Tulip and Marula are for returning the mirror to the headmaster now. Though Barnaby might need to look in it again to be encouraging before it goes back. And Isabel and even Talbot aren't sure they are ready to let it go. I want to look into the mirror over and over for the rest of time. Don't be a greedy mongrel, Ismelda. And you don't call me names, Marula. Just because you don't want to talk about your heart's desire doesn't mean I should be the mind enjoying mine. It's not like the two of you to be fighting, at least with each other. Perhaps Dumbledore has a point about us not looking in the mirror after all. Though I imagine you are surprised to hear that from me, son. I'm not surprised at all. Not really surprised. Professor Dumbledore said that the Mirror of Erised is powerful. Perhaps you just needed to learn that lesson for yourself. I don't like to be told what to do or what to think. Benny believes we need to think things before we return to the mirror, which means helping you all sort of out your feelings. It will take someone with big opinions to figure out what to do with this lot. The person I have in mind is big, alright. In fact, he's half a giant, Hagrid. I'm going to see Hagrid to get advice on how to help our friends. And perhaps once we will finally be able to return the Mirror of Erised to the headmaster. I'm at Hagen's garden. Meet me there to get his advice now. Hello there, Bellady. Penny here has been filling me in on your latest adventure. It seems you already found Dumbledore missing artifact, the Mirror of Erised. Twice. That's too Hagrid. First we learned that Professor Spout has borrowed the mirror. But when we went back to retrieve it from their biology classroom, it was gone. Turns out Tolbol, Winneker and Tulip had it. And both looked in it. And the reactions were very different. Demerula and some of her friends demanded their turn. But they were also either upset or excited by what they saw. I've been trying to sort them all out ever since. But people are confused and no one will agree on what to do with the mirror now. Some of our friends want to give it back right away, others never want to give it back. We just want to help our friends to feel better and let go of the mirror or what they saw in it. I see. I was hoping you'd help me figure out what to do next, Hagrid. Ven and I are here for you, Bellady. Together we are sure to come up with a solution to your problem. That will be brilliant, Hagrid, so let's make a plan, solve the problems surrounding the Mirror of Erised. But I need some more energy for that. I'm worried that our friends are going to be fixated on the mirror for some time. I wonder what Finn here would see in the Mirror of Erised. It's clear to me that seeing your heart's desire is a powerful thing. If we give the mirror back, the people who like their vision will be upset. What do you think we should do next, Sven? You're both being quite thoughtful about your problems with the mirror. Professor Dumbledore warned us that the Mirror of Erised could mystify people. Ruff. If we keep the mirror longer, students might see more happy visions. We wanted to help our friends before going to Dumbledore this time. I wonder what Fen here would see in the Mirror of Erised. It's clear to me that you are seeing your heart's desire is a powerful thing. I'm worried that the friends are going to be fixated on the mirror for some time. And out of energy. What do you think we should do next, Fen? You both being quite thoughtful about your problem with the mirror. Professor Dumbledore wanted us that the Mirror of Erised warranted us that the Mirror of Erised could mystify people. If we give the mirror back, the people who like their vision will be upset. Ruff. If we keep the mirror longer, students might see more happy visions. We want to help our friends before going to Dumbledore this time. I wonder what Fen here would see in the Mirror of Erised. It's clear to me that seeing your heart's desire is a powerful thing. I'm worried that our friends are going to be fixated on the mirror for some time. You're both being quite thoughtful about your problem with the mirror. Professor Dumbledore warned us that the Mirror of Erised could mystify people. If we give the mirror back, the people who liked the vision will be upset. And out of energy. Something went wrong with the recording of the last part getting the stars with Hagrid and Penny and the conversation afterwards. So I will tell you what happened in the conversation. Hagrid advised you to go to Dumbledore. Then and to tell him what happened with the mirror. And then Hagrid says that you should talk direct to Dumbledore, and Penny says you should do it from your heart. I choose to go for the direct way. And now we get to talk with the headmaster in the Great Hall. Watch, Betty. Good luck talking to Professor Dumbledore about the mirror. You're going to need it. We will never understand why these children can't eat more quietly. I'm still thinking about the reflection I saw of my thriving Pufflepot in the Mirror of Erised. What joy it brought me. Professor Dumbledore, can I speak to you for a moment? Of course, I've been expecting you, Miss Van. Thank you, Professor. I'm going to be direct because it is important to you. And I know you just need the facts. My friends and I found the Mirror of Erised. Some of them wanted to look in it, and so they have. And now I need your help sorting it out so I can finally return the mirror to you like you've asked. I see, and I appreciate you getting right to it. When it comes to the power of the mirror, there is no time to waste. I appreciate that, Professor. Though it sounds quite serious, so I need you to tell me exactly what happened at once. I will not tolerate the antics of these students so kindly. Some friends are now confused and conflicted about their heart's desire. While I appreciate your efforts on my behalf, my patience is wearing thin. Melody has been quite helpful in trying to return the mirror. Everyone seems to have a different opinion about the Mirror of Erised. This is exactly the kind of thing I was concerned about with the mirror. I will not tolerate the antics of these students so kindly. I know you need the mirror back. Well, I appreciate your efforts on my behalf. My patience is wearing thin. Some of our friends want to keep looking in the mirror over and over again. Melody has been quite helpful in trying to return the mirror. Penny and I are trying to help our friends sort their feelings out. And out of energy. The Mirror of Erised is definitely going back to Dumbledore after this talk. I will not tolerate the antics of these students so kindly. Some friends are now confused and conflicted about their heart's desire. Everyone seems to have a different opinion about the Mirror of Erised. Melody has been quite helpful in trying to return the mirror. This is exactly the kind of thing I was concerned about with the mirror. I know you need the mirror back. What you have described in the regards of the mirror is not unusual. This is the power of the mirror. People can waste away obsessing over what it reflects. This is why I wish there were a way to help my friends make sense of their feeling regarding the reflection, and also the other to be satisfied knowing they got a chance to look into the mirror at all. People can often become focused on the future and ignore the present, which can be a great shame. The past is the past, and the future is always uncertain. The moment we live is where we should always aim to focus our minds and hearts. You will do well to take heed of these lessons, Miss Swan. If you are often focused on quests and mysteries, rather than where you are now, do you see how staying present in the moment rather than chasing the future could be beneficial to you? I believe I can do both. I believe I can both focus on the present and look to the future. It's all part of the same journey, Professor Dumbledore. It is indeed. This is quite helpful, Professor. I'm glad you think so. But there is something else people do not understand about the Mirror of Erised that you should know. What a person sees in the mirror is not written in stone. It can change, if their great desire changes as well. Thank you, Professor. I think I've given me exactly what I need to help my friends. I'm glad, but my patience is running thin. I will allow you one more chance to return the mirror. And then I will intervene. I understand, Professor Dumbledore. I'll do my best to see the Mirror of Erised return once and for all. I have our friends gathered in the alleyway to talk about the mirror. Alright, you're all here, Bellady. I hope this is about the Mirror of Erised. I've barely gotten to look into it since we magically moved it back to the Owlery, which wasn't easy. It's about the mirror, Esmeralda. I've confessed to Professor Dumbledore that we have it. But he allowed me to talk to you all before the teacher retrieved it. You snitched on us? Why am I not surprised? I wouldn't call it snitching, Esmeralda. Why don't we let Bellady speak for herself? Why did you tell Dumbledore on us, Bellady? I was being responsible. Professor Dumbledore wanted the Mirror of Erised back. I was just being responsible to the headmaster. After all, the mirror belongs to Hogwarts, not to us. Spoken like a good little student. You are such a bore. Maybe I should take one more look in the mirror to see my heart's desire, since I will probably never get it in real life. I admit I will be hard to say goodbye. The mirror is the only way for me to see my family whole again. The mirror is broken. If it thinks I want to work it at the Ministry of Magic, I say let it be done with it. It seems like you all have different reasons for wanting to keep the mirror or to let it go. But if you listen, I think I can make you see that it's actually just distracting you from what is really important. You really don't need the Mirror of Erised at all to know your heart's desire. And I'm going to prove it to you. I never looked at the inscription on the frame of the mirror. A pencil would have been more fun than this mirror. I want, if you want your heart's desire to come true, Barnaby, you can still work for it. Unlike a niffler with a shiny object, I get distracted by the mirror. Perhaps Mahula won't ever see the person she saw in the mirror ever again. You do love the sound of your own voice, don't you, Swan? I'm pretty sure I'd rather be looking in the mirror than listening to Bellady. Ismail doesn't need a vision of telling people off. She can do it now. Out of energy. You don't need a mirror to know your heart's desire, because it's there in you. I never looked at the inscription on the frame of the mirror. The heart's desire you see in the mirror can still change if your desire changes. A pen sensitive would have been more fun than this mirror. You don't need a mirror to know your heart's desire, because it is there in you. If you want your heart's desire to come true, Barnaby, you can still work for it. I'm like a niffler with a shiny object. If I get the heart's desire you see in the mirror can still change if your desire changes. Perhaps Mahula won't ever see the person she saw in the mirror ever again. You do love the sound of your own voice, don't you, Swan? I'm pretty sure I'd rather be looking in the mirror than listening to Bellady. Ismail doesn't need a vision of telling people off. She can do it now. And that's vanity. You don't need a mirror to know your heart's desire, because it's there in you. I never looked at the inscription on the frame of the mirror. A pencil would have been more fun than this mirror. If you want your heart's desire to come true, Barnaby, you can still work for it. And like a niffler with a shiny object, I get distracted by the mirror. Perhaps Mahula won't ever see the person she saw in the mirror ever again. You do love the sound of your own voice, don't you, Swan? I'm pretty sure I'd rather be looking in the mirror than listening to Bellady. Ismail doesn't need a vision of telling people off. She can do it now. The heart's desire you see in the mirror can still change if your desire changes. You don't need a mirror to know your heart's desire, because it's there in you. I never looked at the inscription of the frame of the mirror. And 1 energy short. "22 seconds. "12, 11, 10. Yes. Perhaps Mahula won't ever see the person she saw in the mirror ever again. You do make many good points, Bellady. I just wanted to see that the mirror made you all focus on something that's already inside you. It's your heart's desire. You don't need the mirror to feel it or even to finally achieve it someday. Bellady is right. Maybe if I study more, I can make the reflection in the mirror as I come true someday. And since the reflection in the mirror can change if my heart desires change, it could still be a master prankster. And I agree that my family will always be with me in my heart. I don't need a mirror to feel that. Exactly. Focusing on the future means we are not living there in the present. Your heart's desire could stay the same the same or changed, but perhaps that's what makes life worth living. Just so you know, I'm going to be telling you all exactly how I feel even more often now. Of course you will, Esmeralda. You didn't need to convince me to give the Mirror of Erised back to Dumbledore. Then we finally agree. Our time with this faint magic artifact was exciting, but now it should go back where it belongs. I will send for Dumbledore now. And perhaps he will even allow me to look in the Mirror of Erised myself before he stores it away again. I would like to review your journey. Meet me in my office now. The Mirror of Erised is also here. It certainly is good to have this precious mythical artifact back in my possession. What will happen to the Mirror of Erised now, Headmaster? It will be returned to a special place hidden within the castle. That is, unless I decide to move it again. But don't worry, Professor, I don't think my friends will go looking for the mirror a second time. I trust they will not, but I must thank you for your help in locating the Mirror of Erised, Miss Van. Though I do wonder about the reflection your friends witnessed in it, and what they may have learned from them. Perhaps you could share how you helped your peers move beyond or embrace their harsh desires. And I'm sure the Mirror of Erised made an impression on all of those who gazed into it. I'll be happy to share those stories with you, Professor. But I need some more energy for that. Maria saw herself as someone she never expected to see in her reflection. Tia was happy to know her own heart's desire might change. Hogwarts is home to many wonderful and powerful magical artifacts. Dumbledore saw his lost family and realized he will be with them in his heart. Squawk. Isabella realized she could make her heart's desire true in her daily life. Barnaby is motivated to make his heart's desire come true. I wonder what Fox would see if he looked into the Mirror of Erised. If people were unsure about what they saw, they learned from their experience. I am not surprised that the Mirror of Erised was so sought after. Willow saw herself as someone she never expected to see in her reflection. Tia was happy to know her own heart's desire might change. And out of energy. Hogwarts is home to many wonderful and powerful magical artifacts. Dumbledore saw his lost family and realized he will always be with them in his heart. Isabella realized she could make her heart's desire true in her daily life. Squawk. I wonder what Fox would see if he looked into the Mirror of Erised. Barnaby is motivated to make his heart desire come true. I'm not surprised that the Mirror of Erised was so sought after. Maria saw herself as someone she never expected to see in her reflection. Such a fascinating journey. It appears your friends learned more from your time with the Mirror of Erised than I realized, and that you helped them embrace valuable lessons as a result. Thank you, Professor. Though I can't help but notice you never looked in the mirror yourself. No, I didn't. I was too busy trying to return it to you and also helping my friends. I appreciate both, and that you respected my wishes. Though from our discussion it's clear you've come to understand the mirror's power. So before I throw it away once again, I'd like to give you a choice. Would you like to look into the Mirror of Erised now? Yes, I will gaze into the mirror. Thank you, Professor Dumbledore. Yes, I would love to look into the mirror. Then you may do so now. Professor Dumbledore, that was incredible. It felt so real. I was with Rowan and my brother. It was so amazing seeing us all together. Time with family, friends, and loved ones often represent our deepest heart desires. I can't help but wish that we all will really be together someday. For now, rest is in the appreciation that the Mirror of Erised could show you that desire. I appreciate your choice and your honesty, Miss Swan. And now that you are finished with the Mirror of Erised is completed, I have something special just for you. Consider it a reward for returning one of my favorite magical artifacts. A small mirror. So beautiful. Looks like a smaller version of the Mirror of Erised. That it is. Although this mirror is not magically about to show your heart's desire. May it will always remind you of your time with the Mirror of Erised and the lessons you learned on your journey. Thank you, Professor. Then probably it will be standing in our room, or we can put it there, because they changed it a little bit. I got a new card. Nice. Okay. With the achievements of year 4. And up to my room. We are going to change that one for the mirror. Okay. It gives us some energy. And then we can place the book into the secret clubhouse. And then this was the side quest with the Mirror of Erised. Thank you all for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And then I hope to see you back in my next video. Maybe until then. Bye!